everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to 42 reviews in who knows how many minutes. These are very quick snippets, very short thoughts on these games. Most of them have already gotten a review, a short review, or will eventually get a short review and a longer review. So this isn't the only time I'm going to talk about these games, but I am talking about them starting now, alphabetical order. Here we go. First, we have Three of a Kind, a party game in which you are given some clues and people are going to write answers to them and you're trying to match other people at the table. Simple, but the prompts make it fun. 7 out of 10. A Jest of Robin Hood. This is basically a war game, essentially. It's from GMT. A coin game for 2 players. One person's the sheriff, one person's Robin Hood. Very cool. Way too many rules for what is apparently a simple game, and it feels like the sheriff wins more often than Robin Hood, but what do I know? Still fun game, 7.5. Age of Angra. This is one we played live here in the Dice Tower. You have these fighters who are fighting each other, moving in position, playing cards, using special abilities, and the special abilities and when to use them, and the cooldown track, I think, is the best part of the game. I like it, 7 out of 10. AI Space Puzzle. This is a game in which you know information. You're everyone else at the table, and you're trying to give that to them by putting tokens out in a specific order. It works pretty well. I was surprised how much I like this one, this limited communication, but there is communication, 8 out of 10. Boblins Rebellion. This is a game in which it's basically an engine building game. You have these different little boblins. Yes, they're not goblins, they're boblins. And you buy cards that let you turn the goblins, these screamers, into fighters, and fighters into shriekers and whatever. And then you use those and turn them into victory points. A nice little game, 7 out of 10. Captain Flip, the game that was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, where you take a tile and you're adding it to your ship, and then you can flip it or not. That's it. Simple game. Deciding what column to put things in. Works well for families. I enjoyed it. 7.5. Also, Captain Obvious. Captain Obvious is a game in which you write a sentence, give it to somebody, they're going to erase a word, and everyone has to figure out what that word is. It sounds like it should work better than it does. It works okay, which is why I'm giving it a 6.5, but I thought I would like the game better. Cotus Naturales. This is a little game from Thomas DuPont. This is an interesting one. I like it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. But I feel like there's maybe a little bit too much downtime in a game that doesn't seem like it should have it. As players are trying to position their cards and match corners and things like that. Some interesting stuff there. Then Cookdown. This is a game about making food with cards. You're making good dishes or bad dishes and people vote on them. If you're going to make a game like this, give me a lot of cooking cards. A lot. This game has way too few cards. 5 out of 10. Coyote. This is the umpteenth printing of this game, where everyone sees a card that you have and you see everyone else's, but not your own, and then you're bidding on basically the total of all of them. I've always liked it. This one adds a few rules, keeps it nice and fresh. 7.5. The next 2 games are basically the same game, so I'm cheating here. Darktun Blood Throne Island and Darktun Crypts of Aurelian. These are essentially, I guess you can play them more than one player, but I played them solo, a little game moving the cube around and fighting monsters and flipping cards, and I was like, hey, this is kind of enjoyable. It's not great, but it was a little enjoyable. Tiny little game to play. 7 out of 10. Exit, the Magical Academy. I've not played too many Exit games recently, and the Magical Academy one, which definitely had a very strong Harry Potter theme with wands and stuff. Wow, I disliked it. 5 out of 10. I'm still going to play more Exit games, but this one did not do it for me. Fairy. This is a little game from All Play in which you hold cards while guessing if a number's going to be higher or lower or the same. Oh, my word, I dislike it. 4 out of 10. Fall of Lumen. Another game I'm giving a 4 out of 10, and I'm in the minority on this one. This one is a big, grandiose deck building game / engine building, and it is slow, ponderous, and oh my goodness, so much stuff going on. It's too big, too much. Someone needs to take an axe to it to make it better. Fashion Police. I thought I liked this game about putting little patterns underneath dresses and shirts and blouses and pants, and then people guess which one that's for. It doesn't work as well as you think. It doesn't work at all for me anyway. 5 out of 10. Flame and Fang. This is a deck building game with dragons, and you are going to take these baby dragons out and fight monsters. And you have your own little deck, and you're changing things out of this deck. It's so many cool ideas in this game, but ultimately it's boring. It just doesn't really come above that theme. A 5 out of 10. Flip 7. This is like an Uno style game. I'm giving everyone cards, and I stop anytime. You just don't want 2 cards that are the same number. There's 12 12s in a deck. There's 8 8s. There's 4 4s. That's the game. There's a few other minor rules, but that's it. and yet we've played this probably 10 times. So it's fun. 7 out of 10. Flutter. This is a game that is about connecting tiles and surrounding things, but the tiles are all weirdly shaped, and there's an interesting build flowers. It's not super intuitive, but it's one that I enjoy. A 7 out of 10. Forest Shuffle Alpine expansion. I really like Forest Shuffle. Fantastic game. Let's add a few more cards to it, more butterflies and a few other animals. I'm all in on that. Great. That is an 8 out of 10. Forges of Ravenshire. I like the idea of this game. Dice placement to build forges, to build weapons for the adventurers who come and buy them. That's all neat and good. I wish the simultaneous part was more interesting, and I wish that it doesn't feel completely balanced, and it feels like they could have cut some and shaved it and made it a little bit more streamlined. It's nice. I think it'd be a lot better. 6 out of 10. Gnome Hollow, a game with magnetic boards. I like that. Also a tile placement game where you're building little fairy rings, placing your gnomes, collecting things. I played this a lot this year. It's very enjoyable. 8 out of 10. Harvest. This is the reprint of an older game that originally came in a small box. Now it's a much bigger box with beautiful, beautiful components. Still, there's some wonkiness in it. It's not always straightforward, and you need to kind of think ahead and plan, especially for that last turn. But I do enjoy this worker placement game. 7.5. Hungry Monkey. This is basically another one of those games like Pig Pile and stuff where you're wiping the card deck. As much as I want to be like, another one of these games, I didn't hate it, but it's still not good enough for me to say it's approved. 6.5. I Heart Manatees. That's true. I do like Manatees. I played this with my daughter and my kids. We played it several times because they like Manatees and they also liked this game. A simple game about taking a card or taking a tile and adding it to your area, and then whatever one you take also activates an action. 7.5. Intarsia is a game that it's made from the same folks who made Azul, and it's just beautiful, all these wooden pieces. And it has some interesting concepts, like if I play, I think, 4 cards, I get 3 back. If I play 1 card, I get none back. There's some interesting ideas. It doesn't feel like it has any strong focus. You kind of just feel like you're playing, and I worry that it won't hold up after several playings. 6 out of 10. Landmarks. We played this one live. You're moving around a map, and you're giving word clues. It's a lot like So Clover and everything. I didn't enjoy it. 5 out of 10. I will say they added some scoring rules that you have to get some treasures, so that might make it a 5.5 for me. I've not played with the new rules. A party game I do enjoy, though, is Link City. Link City is a game in which you are putting out buildings in an area, and everyone has to guess what building you put where. That sounds like it's not that much of a party game. It's fabulous. 8.5. Lovestruck. This is a game that's basically playing The Bachelor as a card game. It sounds awful, but I gave it a 5, not a 2, because it's not as awful as you think. There's still tons of problems with this game, including the theme, but it could have been a 2. It's a 5. All right, Lucky Jack. This is a little card game where you're trying to get 3 of the same card, identical cards. So, you get your banana, 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 or diamond, diamond, diamond. There's no reason to not go for broke in this game, unfortunately. It doesn't feel like they thought it through. It's super lucky and almost feels broken. 4 out of 10. The Mandalorian. Hey, who doesn't like The Mandalorian? Who? I want to know who. The Mandalorian's a great TV show. Like this game. Has a story. Lots of cool things going on in it. It's a little more clinical than I want, but people who like Star Wars, Sam Healy loves this game, so I get it. For me, it's a 7, enjoyable game. Nunatech, a 3-dimensional game where you're building a pyramid with these cool little blocks and tiles. The worst part of this game, it's hard to fit back in a box. That's my biggest problem. It's point sound. I like it. The structure is very sound. Many things to enjoy. 8 out of 10. Smug Owls. Gives you a random riddle question that you ask, and then people give clever answers, and someone picks the cleverest. That's it. I thought it wouldn't work, but it's actually pretty amusing. 7 out of 10. Stalk Exchange. This is from the Op. It is a game in which you are taking flowers and putting flowers, and it's a stock exchange, obviously. It just doesn't work for me. It just felt very boring. 5 out of 10. Stamp Swap. This is the newest game from Stonemaier Games about stamps, where there is drafting and there is I split, you choose. I like both those things, so it worked out well for me. I give this one a 7, but also remembering that my love of stamp collecting might be included in that number. Super Snipers is a 2-player polyomino game where you're sniping somebody else, but you're doing that by putting polyominoes and trying to surround them. It sounds weird and funky, but it actually works. 7.5. The Feds. This is a game in which you are secretly putting or sometimes clearly putting people in different areas to get points. It's a remake of a game, and I don't know why, because it's a 4 out of 10. But not just the Feds, we have The Gang. This is one I gave a 5 out of 10 to. I get that some people are going to like this. Everyone around me keeps telling me, Tom, why don't you like it? It's like poker. Don't you like poker? Don't you like cooperative games? This is both of them. I'm like, I like poker, okay. I'd rather it be a competitive game. This just feels like we sit around and argue whose hand is lower. It doesn't sound fun to me. At the end, I just didn't get into it. A 5 out of 10. The Piggy Brigade. This is a remake of a way old game from Alex Randolph, who passed away years ago, about pigs moving around and landing on top of each other and moving. Great for kids. A 7 out of 10. Umbrella. This game in which you are moving umbrellas, beautiful artwork on the cover, cool pieces, cool idea, and the game just feels very meh. Move an umbrella, change your order, score cards. That's it. 5 out of 10. Undergrove, a mushroom game, one of many mushroom games. This is from Elizabeth Hargrave. And I know a lot of people are going to really enjoy this game, but for some reason it didn't do it for me. I think mostly because these trees, which have special abilities and everything, and mushrooms, so many of them felt very much the same, and the game did not really outstay its welcome for me. It just gets a 5. And then finally, World Spanner Factions, which is essentially Duel of Ages 3. This one is just a little... I gave it an 8.25. I don't normally do that. I just can't say excellent because it's not streamlined. There's just a little too much going on in it. But still, you are playing with Buffalo Bill and Annie Oakley, each armed with laser guns as they fight against Robin Hood, who's riding a skateboard, escaping from them in a buffalo out of an accountant's warehouse. I love that sort of stuff, so it's a lot of fun. So, done! There you go, folks. 42 games. Of course, like I said, these are all over the place. We'll do more full reviews in the future, or you can just look up on our channel. We might already have the full reviews for some of these now. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this is The Dice Tower. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Vasel.